Good morning, class. Today we are starting with the second chapter of your second book, yeah? So that is cultural change. So here, like how in the earlier chapter we studied about the changes that has been brought about by colonialism in India, like urbanization and industrialization, that kind of changes. It changed the entire structure of the society of our country, or let's say the country as a whole. A lot of changes have taken place in the structural level of our country, not only structural, but there has also been cultural changes in India. So firstly, we read what is culture. Culture can be defined as socially established norms or patterns of behavior. So these are the behavior patterns, the way you behave, okay, which is established, which is accepted by the entire society. So basically, in simple words, culture, it is a way of life which is transmitted from one generation to generation. So yeah, first in the first half of the chapter, we are going to study about some of the reform movements, or some of the reform movements means movements which are intended, which take place with the intention of bringing a, let's say, a positive change in the society. So various reforms have taken place in the 19th and the 20th century, mostly by the western educated middle class Indians. We have talked about western educated middle class Indians, right? So let's start. Satish Sabharwal, this man is a sociologist. He highlights three modern framework of change in colonial India. So he has highlighted three of the major areas in which changes have taken place in the colonial period. So the first one is mode of communication, second one is forms of organization, and the third one is nature of ideas. So the first one is modes of communication. So the way, the, let's say, the medium through which communication used to take place, it began to undergo a change. So printing press, telegraph, microphone, movement of people and goods through steamships and railways helped movement of people and ideas. So as colonialism started, industrialization also started. So there was more of movement of people, of goods, of ideas from one place to another. So since transportation and communication became easy, much ideas were also exchanged from people of one place to with the people of another. So exchange of reform ideas took place between social reformers of Punjab and Bengal and Madras and Maharashtra, like I said, and Christian missionaries reached remote corners of Nagaland, Mizoram, and Meghalaya. So you know how the religion of Christianity was brought about by the British, by the colonizers. So these Christian missionaries, they reached the tribal areas. So this was mainly through new and advanced modes of communication. The second one is forms of organization. Social organization like Brahmo Samaj in Bengal and Arya Samaj in Punjab were set up. So such social movements for the upliftment of the society began. The All India Muslim Ladies Conference was founded in the year 1914. Translations of writing from one Indian language to another began. So because of this, knowledge also increased, as like books were not limited to just one language, but it began to be translated. Example, Vishnu Shastri published a Marathi translation of Vidyasagar's book in Indu Prakash 1868. And the other one is the nature of ideas. New ideas began to come up, okay, due to the, maybe also due to the influence of the Western ideas. New ideas of freedom, homemaking, marriage, new rules for mothers and daughters, new ideas of self-conscious, pride in culture, etc. emerged. So there was a new point of view, or new way of looking at things. People started to have new ideas regarding their own freedom, about the role of female, okay, and they began to take pride in their own culture and tradition. The value of education became very important. The issue of female education began to be debated about. Jyotiba Phule opened first school for women in Pune. So as new ideas came about, they also came up ideas regarding the education of women. So the education of women began to be a controversial topic the where about on which debates began. And then Jyotiba Phule opened first school for women in Pune. Okay, so in the second half we study about westernization, modernization, sanskritization, and such contents. Okay, so let's start with sanskritization. Like we have read earlier, sanskritization has been talked about by Srinivas. He's the one who coined the term sanskritization. So what is sanskritization? It is a process by which the lower caste groups takes over the customs, beliefs, ideologies and lifestyle of the higher caste groups. So it is a process where the people of the lower caste, in order to be accepted by the people of the higher caste, they try to copy the behavior of the people of the upper caste. They try to copy their beliefs, they try to learn their customs, their culture, their lifestyle in order to be accepted by them and in order to improve their position in the society. So Sanskritization usually takes place in a Hindu space, but the process is visible even in other groups. So although Sanskritization is mainly the process which takes place in a Hindu society, but now it has been taking place even in other groups and religious communities. The process of Sanskritization usually improves the position of a group in the hierarchy. So once a lower caste group they begin to practice the activities of the higher caste, slowly they become accepted, and in the process of Sanskritization it may like improve the position, social position of the person in the hierarchy. But there has been a number of criticism, okay, regarding Sanskritization. So the concept of Sanskritization has been criticized. Why? Firstly, Sanskritization brings about positional change and not structural change. Although the group may improve their position, they will still be a victim of inequality. So this is to say is that Sanskritization, it will not bring a change in the caste system. It will not change the structure of the caste system. It will only improve the position, okay, of the person who is trying to be Sanskritized. Okay, although his position may change, the structure of the caste system will not change, hence he or she will still be a victim of inequality. Secondly, Sanskritization accepts the ways of the upper caste as superior and that of the lower caste as inferior. So here in Sanskritization it is said that people of the lower caste group they try to copy the activities of the upper caste group so that they can reach a higher position. So here they're saying that Sanskritization, according to Sanskritization, whatever the way of life of the upper caste is more dominant and important than that of the lower caste. So Sanskritization seems to justify a model that rests upon inequality and exclusion. So that since here it is said that the process of Sanskritization means where a person of a lower caste they try to copy the lifestyle of the people of the upper caste in order to be accepted in that particular society. So like this is something, you know, like a particular group has to work so hard and they have to copy the lifestyle of some other group to be like at least have some respect in the society. So like Sanskritization, it rests upon inequality and exclusion. Okay, Sanskritization results in adoption of upper caste practices. It results in seclusion of girls and women, dowry practices, and increasing caste discrimination. This is to say that there is not much of discrimination among the people, like among women in the lower caste. Okay, all these kind of things like paying huge amount of dowry, okay, it takes place mostly in the upper caste people. So as the lower caste people they give up on their rituals and they start following the process of Sanskritization, this will result in more seclusion of girls and women because the upper caste people, like in those times or even now in some rural places, they prefer more of the boy child. So because of the process of Sanskritization, the upper caste values of dowry practices and discrimination of other caste and seclusion of girls, it is being increased due to the process of Sanskritization. And lastly, the effect of Sanskritization is that the key characteristic of the Dalit culture and society are eroded. So as Sanskritization takes place, more and more groups they try to copy the higher caste groups, and slowly they get transformed. And as a result, the the Dalits, the lower caste people who are trying to Sanskritize, they are leaving behind their own culture and society, which also actually needs to be preserved. Since all of them are trying to belong to some other group, so their actual culture is evading. Not evading, sorry. It is like getting lost.